do you know, or did you know? So this little slot came about because as a support team, we wanted to just recap some of the features which have been introduced in the last few issues. And there were two reasons why we were thinking that that might be helpful. First of all, we know that quite a few of our long-standing customers are moving to graphical, particularly on the counter. And so we know that things that came in when they were still using character, they might not have appreciated or been aware of because they weren't looking at graphical at that point. And secondly, we do realize that it is difficult to stay on top of anything, of new things, and immediately incorporate them. And so they might drift along the way, and things that might be useful to you, you just, might have drifted and been forgotten. So it was just really, really fast refreshes of things that we think might be helpful for you. And so again, I'm going to focus on counter sales. So I'm not going to go into a great deal of any of these. I'm literally going to show you them as quick as possible. And if you want any of these setting up or to talk about more of them, then just drop a line to the support team. So if I start a counter sale. Okay, so the very first thing is, you will probably have noticed you've had this popping up. A number of people that we visited on site recently haven't had this set, which is why we're talking about it here. It allows you to choose the type of sale when you first go into the sale. So it just helps focus the mind what type of sale is the counter person dealing with. So if I say OK there, of course, when I am in the sale, I can then change if I need to at any point, but it just focuses the mind, make sure the question is asked right up front. If I make that delivered, then, oh, hang on, just need to admit somebody. There we go, somebody appeared in the waiting room. I make that a delivered sale. Postcodes. You can have on your system the ability, if you put a postcode in there, you can look up the address. Okay, so you can do that and you can pick an address from a list. Saves lots of time, saves lots of typing. It's a company that we work with called Fetchify, that you have to have an account with. To do that, we can set you up with them, and we can also set you up with a trial so that you can see if you like it before you make a purchasing decision on that. So that's those. Active remarks.
I think it's worth just mentioning that we need to set the Fetchify account up, because we need to get the API key.
We have to link it to your counteract system, so you need to. So if you're interested in a trial, just drop us an email and we'll set up a trial and give it a go if you like it. And then you buy Fetchify is like a pay-per lookup, so you buy clicks, and you'll soon get a feel for how often you use it. So it's it works really well, and it's always up to date. It's always been maintained. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move to an account sale. So if I put in customers, okay, we call these active remarks. And so again, this is a setting that we can set for you on your system. And so you add the remarks in add amend customer details in the sales ledger, and they just really make things in the face of your counter staff so they can't miss messages that you want them to read because they're important. If I say OK on that, the message is still down here, and they are always down there if you add a remark, but that active remark you need to have turned on for it to pop up like that. If I go into the items tab, I'm going to cancel out of that. Under this more features button, there are two things I'm going to show you. First one is copy a previous sale or order. So if I click on that, you can go off and you can copy any previous sale or order that from that customer. So I'll copy a sale. And then come through, and it's giving me a page where I can choose the sale that I'd like to look at. We found recently that a number of people didn't know that this quick view button is available on lots of these screens where you return a list of documents. If I put a tick in that box, what happens is the document that's highlighted behind, the little window on the front then shows the items that's on that document. And so if they said, yeah, I want to copy the sale with the whatever products on, you're not sure what the number of that sale is, you can open that up, and then I'm going to use the arrow keys on my keyboard to go down through that list. So you can just scan down to a list really quickly, saves you opening, closing, going to the items tab every time. So those quick views are available all over the place. And then if I then close it down, it'll close down and stay on the one that I've been looking at, if that was the one I wanted to copy. I'm actually going to pick that one and copy that one on. So it'll just copy the entirety of that old sale onto a new sale, and then I'm free to add, delete, open things up, amend quantities and prices, do what I like, but it creates a ticket for me nice and quickly. The other thing that's under this More Features button is this import facility. Now, on everybody's system, you can import a simple list of products or full product data, which would be data that you might have exported from a different area of Counteract. But we can also set you up with this additional feature that we call a flexible load. So this bath quote line down the bottom is a flexible load. And that's the ability to import into a sale or customer order items from third-party software. So for example, if you have made a quote, for example, in some design software like Easy Quote or any other web design software, then you can export that quote into a CSV, and we can configure Counteract to work with that CSV and import that into a custom order for you. So that then has huge benefits in that it'll save lots of rekeying of data, potential mistakes being made, lots of time wasted, entering stuff all over the place numerous times. So we can set you up with that. Come and talk to us about a flexible load on customer orders if you would like to have that set up.
And you can have more than one of those. So you're not just limited to one, you can have as many as you need.
Okay, so yeah, so not just Easy Quote. If you use a number of bits of software, we'll set you up a number of them.
And it works in sales and orders and quotations, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So that's something that we realised talking to people recently, lots of people weren't aware was there. So please come and talk to us if you'd like that set up. Okay, another one. I'm going to add a product to illustrate this to you. So this little product, when I add it, just put a quantity on there and then cancel that. So this little product here, my creosote, I have got both a memo and a comment associated with that product. So these are texts that you can store in the price book against products. A comment, which is what this top bit is something that you might want to have printed on a sales ticket along with the product every time the product is put on a ticket, but you don't want that text to form part of the description. So I've just tried to illustrate that with an example here of the sort of thing you might want against something like creosote. Memo. The memo is this bit down here that's appearing in yellow. So the memo only appears on this kind of screen, and it's designed as a reminder for your salespeople. So something like age-restricted product, or make sure you have a conversation about something or other. Anything that's important that your salesperson does when selling that particular product, you can add as a memo on the product. And a memo does not print on sales documents. So those two, if you'd like to know how to set those up in detail, come and have a chat to us. Equally, I'm going to add another product and show you something that we call a sales idea. Okay, so if I've just added some guttering. So I've just added some guttering, and again, in the price book, I can set the price book up to ask me that question or any other text you'd like in there. So would I need any fittings with that? And if I say yes, it'll then take me off to a list of appropriate fittings to go with that particular product. So this sort of thing is really useful. And you can see I'm just selecting from that list like I'd normally select from a product screen. Okay, I'll drop those on. And this sort of thing is really useful if you've got products like guttering, where specific fittings goes with specific guttering products. If you've got, say, boilers, where you have to sell a particular flue pack with a particular boiler, You can set those up in the price book, and then it means that your counter staff, it's a lot easier for them to sell those additional products. And also you're probably going to have to deal with less returns when the wrong thing's been accidentally sold. So if you want to know how to set that up, they're dead quick to set up, and we can show you, send you some documentation on that. Okay, coming out of a sale. So I will just, I'll just save and close on that. Cancel there. Right, I just actually meant to just come out there. Right, that's gone away. Last two bits. There is in sales order processing and administration, we can put a facility in here for you to release delivery notes. So again, talking to lots of customers, we realize that lots of our customers are still turning customer orders into delivery notes by recalling the customer order one at a time and setting it to supply now. So this button here is designed to release customer orders to delivery notes en masse. If I just come in here and show you how it works, the idea is that perhaps this evening I might want to turn all my customer orders that are due to go out tomorrow into delivery notes. So I could select tomorrow, or I maybe could come in first thing in the morning and turn all today's customer orders into delivery notes. I can then filter by status, by order status, by delivery status, by customer, by various document analysis codes. But I can choose and I can click OK, and then I'll have all of the customer orders that meet whatever I've put in those filtered boxes turned into delivery notes in one go. Saves all of that pulling through one at a time. So that we think is a real time saver for people. And then it's also worth recapping that if you are using delivery scheduling, as Nick showed earlier, you can also turn, if I go into a drop there, I can also release all of my notes for a particular trip here in one go. And so if I did it by trip there in delivery scheduling, that'll take all those customers, turn those into delivery notes, print off any documentation if you're not using ePod, print off the documentation in the right order, so you could just hand a pile of paper to the driver with a cover note on the top. So that there is a big time saver as well on admin. I'm going to come out there. Okay, and then the last little bit we just wanted to show you very quickly. And I'm going to demonstrate this by showing you a supplier order WIP report. But this functionality is all over the place in the system. So if I go order inquiries, if I go to supplier order WIP report, okay, so I'm going to run it to screen inquiry, and I'm going to just have a look at my invoiced things that have been invoiced. So, and the reason I've done that is that in this report and also in customer orders, there is a new column at the end that's been added to show you if supplier orders, if customer orders have been delivered on time in full. That one's pretty recent, and there's a number of people who requested that. So I wanted to show you that first of all. Then the other thing I wanted to show you was the, well, we've got the quick view in here. So of course that there looks just the same as it did in the previous screen that I showed you. And I'm going to go down to, let's have a look at that one there. Because the other thing I wanted to show you is that in a lot of these screens where you can double click to get into documents, there's this little facility at the top called Overview. And if I click in the Overview, what I get is a screen appearing which shows me every single document that is linked to this particular document. So I can see that was a supplier order, there is a delivery note, there are 2 invoices associated with the supplier order. If I want to go off and look at those documents, I can just double click on them. So I can get into everything linked with one document, the document I'm looking at from within here. I can go off and look in there. Now, each of those documents has their own set of notepads. Actually, there's nothing on that one, but if there was something on that notepad for this invoice, I could look at it there. But this little notepad button here if there are notepads associated with any documents, then they all appear in this list. And I can drill down into them and see the full detail of the notepads from in here. So this is 360-degree overview. It's worth saying as well, right, that if this supplier order was a back-to-back order, or there was a customer order linked to it, I'd also see that in here. The particular example I've got doesn't show it, but it is in there. So that's my really quick taster of some things in graphical that we just think are really useful, and we think that possibly not everybody's using them at the minute. So we wanted to run through them. Come and talk to us if you want any more details on these things.
Got a few questions, I think.
Oh, a few questions, okay. Thank you, I didn't spot those.
So does release delivery notes give any notification warnings for products requiring an override stock for sale or sales that are not fully paid, i.e. will convert as COD?
Yes.
You get all the normal messages, don't you?
Definitely the first one. Definitely the for sale. I'm not so certain about the COD.
COD, I'm not 100% sure.
No,
Override stock and for
yeah.
sale, yeah, and you'll get credit limits and high-low margin warnings.
Yeah.
COD is the only one that I'd have to go and check because I'm not 100% sure.
I do know that it will make you the right documentation, give you a COD invoice and a delivery note.
Okay. Okay.
How do I get down?
You
Next, do you
scroll.
want to do that? I can't pick it up.
You can scroll it.
Thank you.
Can you set rules on release delivery notes for handling prices that have changed?
Will it not follow the normal rules for your customer orders?
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in normal customer orders, it follows that.
Yeah.
Can the prompt be improved when a credit limit is can the prompts be improved for when a credit limit is exceeded, so the salesman needs to click to allow them to continue? Presumably this could only happen in graphical, but with growing character, even if a much larger prompt.
I think if you just pop some details on an email,
Yeah.
we'll look at it.
Yeah. Comments are very good. Use them all the time. But they do get left behind if you remove a product from a customer order, causing confusion to customers if the salesperson forgets to delete it manually. Can this be fixed, please?
I think if it's a comment associated with the product, I thought it did get deleted. But if it's been typed in as a freestanding comment, then it doesn't know.
Yeah. Certainly
Okay.
graphical, it removes it.
Yeah.
May well be I'm not sure about character.
Yeah. Depends whether they're set up as products and comments from the price book.
Yeah.
If they're just typed in free format, and we don't know that they belong with the product at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent. Thank you,
Louise.
Thanks, Louise.